plaintiff, Marta Wagner, and her boyfriend, Scott, share a fence with the defendant, and his pit bulls are constantly coming into their yard. Marta claims the defendant's pit bulls attacked her dog, and it took a baseball bat to get them off. She's suing for the vet bills. Defendant Jason Hufford says for the past 4 years, Marta's dog has been coming into his yard as a result of a faulty fence that Marta refused to repair. Jason insists his dogs only went into Marta's yard because they were antagonized, and therefore he refuses to pay.
All right, start with you.
Okay. Jason Hufford is my neighbor, and our backyards are adjoined. And I have 2 German Shepherds. He has 2 pit bulls. His dogs keep getting in my yard and crawling underneath my fence. We have a shared fence.
When did they start that?
Probably like before the incident. It's probably months before.
Okay.
And,
did you all discuss it then?
No, we never did.
Okay.
My son would shoo him back underneath.
Okay.
He must have known about it because sometimes he was out there, you know, and Scott would fix my fence over and over and over. It's a shared fence. I just didn't want anything bad to be happening. I mean, because, you know, with pit bulls, things happen, you know. They're vicious dogs. And so...
German Shepherds are tough dogs,
yeah,
too.
but my Shepherd is 13 years old.
Okay.
And he's just mild, gentle.
How old is the other one?
The other one wasn't in the yard. He was in a kennel.
Okay.
Every time his dogs are out, they're at the fence, like being very aggressive towards my dogs. And my 13-year-old, since this happened, he doesn't even want to stay in the backyard.
Describe the incident.
The incident, my son was in the shower, and he got out of the shower and was getting dressed. He heard all this growling and commotion out in the back, and he ran out there and he saw Jason's 2 pit bulls on top of my 13-year-old Boris. And he yelled.
Both were on top of it?
Both were crawled underneath my fence and were on top of them. He shooed the smaller one away. It went right underneath the fence. And in the meantime, he went and got a bat because he couldn't get him off. He was yelling for Jason, "Come out and get your dogs, you know, they're attacking mine." Nothing. So he ran and got a bat, and he started hitting him, and he broke the bat. And as him and I pulled up, my son was running from the garage to get with another aluminum bat because he didn't know what to do. Jason wasn't coming out. And so Scott grabbed the bat and started hitting him. Jason still wasn't out there. We're yelling and, you know, screaming, and this dog is locked onto Boris's neck, just locked and just
that's
going.
That's what the pit bulls do.
You know, just very aggressive. Finally, he hit him and he released.
I hit him 4 times and then he fucking let loose.
Took 4 times. In the head?
No, I couldn't hit him in the head because he had Boris's.
Right, neck.
So I hit him twice in the side and twice in the hip.
He's just still,
He was dragging Boris around like a rag doll.
He chased him in the corner. So then finally, after everything was, you know, Boris is laying there bleeding and in shock and shaking. My son's crying and we're like, oh my God, you know. He came out and his dog did not have a collar. And he grabbed him by the neck and pushed him back underneath the fence.
That's not true.
For a finish.
And so I'm like, my son's like yelling, "Why didn't you come out? You know, I've been screaming for 20 minutes for you to come out. This was a long incident." And he's like, "Well, why didn't you fix your fence?" And I go, "It's a shared fence, and we have been fixing it. You can see on my fence that it's pushed his way."
What was going on with your dog at this point?
My dog is laying there bleeding.
And you are arguing with him?
No, that's all I said was, he said, "You should have fixed your fence."
So what did you do to attend to your dog?
So then we were getting him, like, clean him up. I was calling the vet. I called the animal control. He went over to say, "Oh my God, you know, this has happened. You need to take responsibility for this. And he says, you know, and pay the vet bills because we have to
But
take.
he wasn't
him.
bleeding profusely?
He was.
You want to see some pictures, Your Honor?
Yes.
Sir, what do you want to say?
Well, their dog has been getting into my yard for the last 4 years.
A few times.
4 years.
And why didn't you take responsibility? And
Because it's your fence.
who said?
It's a shared fence.
We both moved in and it was there.
You all both have a responsibility to keep your dogs in your own yard. The question is, who was negligent and caused damage? If your dog goes over to his yard, you all are negligent
I understand.
in controlling your dog. Then someone has to pay for that damage. That's where we're at today. Now, so what do you say to that?
Pit bulls have bad reputation. I mean, they could do some damage, but those are my babies. They're part of my family. I didn't train them to be like that. Their dogs have been coming into my yard for 4 years because of their fence. Their fence, you can take a look and see how they've tried to fix the fence with grills or rebarb.
All right, sir, but I'll look, but once again, you have a duty to keep your dogs in your yard.
Right, but if their dog comes into my yard and my dog chases it back in,
How long ago?
I don't
was
have any
that?
evidence of that, sir.
the only reason he went back into that yard is because their dog has been coming to my
He
yard.
didn't have to go back over there, sir. He could have stayed there. You have a duty to control your dog. So does she. You haven't proven that her dog caused you any damages. You're not countersuing for any damages. She has proven to me that her dog suffered damages because your dog went on to her property. That's all I know. You're talking about what her dog did. There's no evidence of that, and there's no negligence on her behalf that caused you damages. You have been negligent in failing to keep your dog on your property, and the damages are severe. She's being nice just to charge you veterinary bills, sir. She could be a little emotional distress tied to this as well. Yes.
I just want to say that when we got the animal control report, his dog didn't even have rabies shots. For 10 days, they told me his dog was being watched under quarantine. We didn't even know.
Meaning your dog as well, then, after
Yes,
you were told that.
Exactly, and it affects my whole family
Yeah,
being
I'm
around.
sure.
He went inside after this whole thing happened, and he never said anything. He never came over to see how my dog was. No kind of concern or anything about my dog.
I'll grant you your judgment, ma'am, $832, but she's still being considerate after what happened to her dog, and you sound inconsiderate and unremorseful. Have a good day. Judgment for the plaintiff. Bye-bye.